me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Who am I but I'm Dre Mac? Came into the game just to spit facts. Into the space that I'm in. They call me by the Drake cause I'm cold with the pen. I run no diamonds but I still shine. You can dig me cause my voice mine. My tracks flame like a dilute. I order blood on my tongue. These niggas warm blue. I'ma throw with a gas leak. Camouflage in the mist but you smell me. One spark kill I bet you I'ma blow up. They throw my name around. Get stupid then you go dumb. No rest for the weary. My verse is sitting in his man, but you can't see me. You rather drink than go pull up, but drink a knife through the game, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. I came to eat at the Lecrae. Got stripped of a bear, come be brainstorm. Then I come together like a Voltron. Then I poured all the planks to use Decepticons. Fake rappers to retreat like Cobra. 80s they can throw they like. Up in the storage and I'm man. Up, down, then I'm cheap. You a beast, man. I take a beating. Ninja turtle rap, turtle clans get defeated. High samurai, you can call me Night Rider. You can never stop me, cause I'm a guy bomb. Bad attitude like a rocket, my whole to the A, and I bet you can stop us. LL bad when I go and show up. You can hear the haters in the back. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. To get that honey sauce on me, I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Oh, snap. What's up? What is going on, everybody? This is your man, Dre Mac, coming to you again with another episode of the Dre Mac Show. 7:30 in the morning, Central Time, 8:30 on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast right now, go ahead and get up, because you already know that the early bird gets the worm. And today, we are finally going to go over the Lecrae interview. I mean, it's been about almost 10 days. So we're going to go over that Lecrae video today. The interview that he had with Meagan Good and Jonathan Majors. And I have not seen not a lick of it. When I did see it pop up, you know what I mean? I wanted to see it, but I didn't know if I wanted to do it live, if I wanted to do it, as a pre-recorded video, and then I just upload it. I was going to do it yesterday, but I actually got some sleep. I've been getting some rest because I'm old and I'm weary in my bones. So today we're just going to go over it. I think you guys will enjoy what we got to hear today, but we'll see. We'll see what we're talking about and everything. But hopefully you guys are happy. Hopefully you guys are healthy. Shout out to my man Heavy Gan over at the Heavy Gan channel, but you already know how I do. The real question is, are you
Say why you hating on my energy? Say why you hating on my energy. I don't think you wanna be my enemy.
All right. Let me shout out who was all in here, and then I will tell you what we got coming up. This week is probably going to be one of the wildest weeks because of some things that went on over the weekend. So, my man Marley Mark, good morning. Tori and Rain Reloaded, good morning. Miss Roberta, the church auntie, good morning. Now, y'all don't be acting the fool in this chat because she gonna get you. Better stop playing. Damon, good morning. Junior Network, good morning. Hey, Tori, we go get today over here in a minute. Eddie Foster, good morning. Xavier Phoenix, good morning. Raymond Coke, good morning. Miss Aisha, good morning. Tracy Woods, good morning. That is, I don't believe that, but we'll see. Tracy Woods, good morning. My man Jericho, aka Bruce Leroy. You know what I'm saying? AKA Jay Young. What's up? Hey, I gotta rap with you today, man. When you get some free time, hit a brother up. Me and you gotta rap. Wavy Thames, good morning. Let me see. Miss Sharita's up in here. Hey, Sharita. Justice Note is up in here. Good morning. Erica D, aka She Loves Fantasy. Good morning. All right. So let's address some things that went on. So the first thing, Victoria kind of put it in the chat. I went over to Birdman's. Birdman had a live stream. Well, I didn't know he gamed and stuff like that. So I just seen his live stream pop up. And I was like, let me go holler at dude. You know what I'm saying? Say what's up or whatever. You know what I mean? It's, super chat or whatever. My man was like, yo, Dre, I see what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And gave a brother a shout out to the Birdman. I tag the majority of the reaction videos that I do. I tag, unless I know that I'm about to be on some BS. I know I'm about to be on some bull job. I probably won't, because you just gonna have to see it. You know what I mean? But 9 times out of 10, I tag certain people in the thing. So of course, I always tag Birdman when I'm doing his reaction videos. So Tad the Minute, he's been watching the stuff. You know what I'm saying? Good brother, you know what I'm saying, and all of that. Shout a brother out on his live. So shout out to the Birdman for that. And then I started getting an influx. So what's up, Pam? What's good? So hold on, wait a minute. So I get an influx. So I took so let me give you the context. So I took my boys, to go see Fantastic Four, right? They wanted to see Fantastic Four, went to see Fantastic Four, right? So I'm in the middle of Fantastic Four. Now, mind you, I didn't seen it like three times. This is my 4th time seeing it. So, I'm kind of watching, I'm kind of not watching it. You know what I mean? Because I've already seen it. So it's nothing new or surprising to me. So I go and look, and I see my phone ping from YouTube, and I'm like, and I'm getting all these chats in my chat. You don't know what you're talking about. Keno Flex owns you or whatever. I'm like, Keno Flex? oh. So come to find out, my man, Keno, because I tagged him in the video. Now, mind you, in the video, I said, let me see what he talks about. Is he going to change my mind? You know what I'm saying? I want to see what he has to say. But I also said, if you start off your conversation that is debating what somebody else said, if you start off with sign language, shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right, I'm not going to listen to you because you're already defeated. Because if you really got concrete evidence to back up what you're saying, you're going to just use concrete evidence first before you get into the way you feel and all of that. You know what I mean? But dude, whenever we did the reaction video, it was like 2 hours long. Bro makes a 4-hour live stream. Now, mind you, he's one of those faceless YouTubers, so I haven't went to the video, but I kind of want to do it right now. I do want to see just a little bit. We'll get to him probably on Wednesday because on tomorrow I want to go. It's a few videos that I want to do reaction videos to. One that the nerd community hates black women. I gotta see what they talking about on that one. And then my guy, God, I can see his face, but I can't think of his name. The young brother who is trying to get Megan Thee Stallion to co-sign his book, being a nerd. Oh, man, I can't think of this brother's name. And I reposted it on Instagram, but I kind of want to do his video also. Give that brother some shout out. I'm actually a fan of his, just for the simple fact he does manga and all of that stuff for kids. And you rarely see, any of the big YouTubers shouting them out. So I want to make sure that I shout them out, even though my channel was nowhere close as big. We're still close to 5,000 subscribers. So, man, keep liking and sharing the content so we can hit that at least that 5,000 subscriber mark. You know what I mean? But before we get to that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and I'll be right back with more, of course, of the Dre Mac Show.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Now you can own one of the greatest gospel albums ever on the road with only giant hits and legendary stars.
Biscuit. I know it's the truth about it. I love. Oh, how I love this biscuit. Oh, how I love this biscuit. It is the best biscuit. I know.
This treasury is not sold in stores, and when you call the toll-free number now, you also get another entire album of all-time gospel favorites. We now return to the Transformers.
All right. Let me get some of the people that came in here. Tina, good morning. Mike Bree TV, good morning. Maverick 77, good morning. Six to Truth, good morning. Frankenstein, what's up? I ain't seen you in here in a minute. What's going on? Nice to see you up in here. And I've heard a couple things on that. I do kind of want to know if it's true though, if that's a real script or not. If that's, because they go through a lot of scripts, but I just want to see. Miss Roberta with the $5 super chat. Dre got the good blessed WD-40 for your old bones. Now, bones ain't old. Just a butter biscuit is getting old. And you know what I'm about to do for you?
Gang bang.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
Gang bang.
All right. Let's transition just real quick before we get into the mega good stuff. I kind of want to see what was in this live stream before I'm not doing the whole 4 hours. People joking, Keno Flex does 4 hours, Dre Mac does 5. The devil is a liar and a deceiver. Ha! That would never happen, ever. But I'm curious. I'm like really curious to see what my man is actually saying, because this guy got way more video, way more push than I got. So thank you for pushing my video. Way more push than I got on mine. But we'll see. And I want to see if he shows his face. So let's just I just want to play a little bit of it, see what he's talking about. And let's see. Let's this is a lot. 4 hours and 9 minutes. And hold up. Let's skip.
Well, if they're
hold up. Let's skip. What is he doing?
boasts for until
Okay. When does he start talking? Because somebody said they watched some of this and he was big, man. He was not gonna put his face on here.
Is it all good?
Oh, he got people
yes,
with
I
him.
see, yes, I see it correctly now.
He got people
Okay,
with
so-
him.
And all right, so everyone, hello. We are I am Kino Flex, joined by my friend Jan, and we are going to be responding to a the Dre Mac Show.
Mr. Dre Mac.
Who a couple days ago, I think it's been a week now, more than a week, responding to one of my response videos to the Birdman over Ironheart. And we are in the process of getting the stream going. I see some of you are in the chat.
Okay. So
yeah.
So he had help. So that's why this thing went on so long.
One's actually my guy. Like,
hold on.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Apparently, this guy is responding to criticism. People who have responded to the Birdman before. I think.
Hold up. Let's go back. This sent me this. All right.
Pause it already. But can I just say it's an interesting intro to dox yourself at the start of your video.
It says the issue is what?
Oh, wait, no, the Discord tab
Yeah.
is still here. How would I get rid of it?
Nah, it's fine. I think you just full screened it, or what's
let's
the situation with it?
Oh, this doesn't go any. This is resolution.
Oh wait, actually, no, it should be fine.
Let's speed.
Yeah, it's fine. I fucked up because of the stream delay, so
Oh, no,
that's my bad.
So the Dre Mac Show, 7:30 in the morning Central Time, 8:30 on the East Coast. If you're the West Coast right now, like my brother is on the beach, still get up. You already
Sorry to pause it already, but can I just say it's an interesting intro to dox yourself at the start of your video. It's just kind of funny. Here I am, North Pacific, 25 degrees west, 29 degrees north. Vessel's named the Angel's Fist. Fucking all right.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Go over this Kino Flex video.
Yep, that's me.
Responding to
That's
the
you.
worst defenses of Ironheart, going straight at Birdman. And that's why I call it with Kino Flex. Changed my mind about the Birdman's Ironheart defense. And you know how we feel about Ironheart over here. Based on the brother, hold on. That sent me this video. Can't think of the brother's name off tops, but I will get to it. Christopher Smith. CK Smith. Shout out to CK Smith. You know what I'm saying? Who sent me this video. You know how we feel about the Birdman over here, too. So, will he change my mind? That is going to be the question. But I feel like
this is like a minor nitpick, but like just from context clues, I'm probably able to assume he's positive about the show and positive about the Birdman. But like, dude, I'm a new viewer. I have no fucking clue how you feel about any of this. Might be worth restating that.
Right, and apparently this guy's responding to criticism. People who have responded to the Birdman before. I think the aristocratic utensil. That guy. I haven't seen
Spoon.
his videos on it. Yeah. That guy.
Well, if there is one thing Spoon is correct about, and trust me, there is one thing. It is Birdman, because I mean.
This is
it's like Duma with Vought.
Hey, we gonna have to sit down and do this because I have a good feeling this is going to go over well. I just have the good feel. I'm not doing the whole 5 hours. So they're gonna have to, skip past the intros and all of that. Well, I'm gonna play a little bit more and then see if they get anything juicy. Like, okay, I'm probably gonna skip it because I guess he had a problem with me. Like he literally goes through all my. I would personally not, just personally, Kino Flex. If you're watching this, hi Kino. I would not go through all of my intro, all of this stuff. I would get to the point. Like you can skip all the fluff. This is all of what I say because I do a live show, which you don't understand, Kino, and you probably because was your first time ever watching me, is that I do a live show. So within this live show, I literally go over a routine. This is something that I've been doing for a long time. Skip past it. You're going through, I'm talking about literally all of my stuff, just commentating like what you're going to do. You're going to criticize me for telling, shouting out my audience, or you and your partner, seriously. I just want to hear. Because like I said, there's a lot of fluff going on.
No, I want to direct everyone to the latest video you had, or the end of the compilation with the what you were just pointing out, where he says, "Oh, Will Jordan is a racist, Gary Beekler is a racist." It's like, that's because this guy's essentially saying he doesn't like poisoning the well, which fair enough. But man, that's not even saying that. That's past poisoning the well. That's you're fucking irradiating it with nuclear waste. But yeah, no, like he's of course correct. You should avoid this, and you should immediately be suspect if someone like starts the video off with like pre-baked conclusions about the person that they're talking about. But like, yeah, for Birdman, this is his MO. It's just worth remembering. So it's a little bit interesting, but okay.
Okay.
All right, what you're trying to do now is trying to shame him for attention. You're trying to insult him for attention. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to guilt trip to make people feel bad about liking a product, or you need to be right. So everything all your defenses is a need to be right and not a critical analysis. Because I tagged both Birdman and Kinoplex in this live.
Okay, he says he does both, so that's fair. I just want to like quibble with this whole section though as well. It's like this is the framing I often see where like the only
you know what? Already, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of bored. So let's switch gears. Let's switch gears real quick. Let's get to the other video because it seems like it's good. There's a lot. There's a lot they're trying to dissect just from what I was saying, and this is one of those things I'm gonna have to just sit down and watch because I don't know what. I'm kind of confused because for one, there was like don't come with preconceived notions of Birdman. But then you come with preconceived notions of Birdman. And then I say what I say. And then you get mad about that. Like, what? I'm confused. So I don't know. Or you don't understand or something. I don't know. Oh God. So I did not want that in the queue, but yeah. Let's get to. All right, so we're gonna change gears. We're gonna get to the Jonathan Majors video because Lord have mercy, it would have been a lot, and I ain't got time for that. All right, let's get to it. Jonathan Majors, Make It Good. They break their silence on the cancel culture, everything with Lecrae. Shout out to Lecrae. I've been listening to Lecrae. I used to listen to Lecrae like, man, that was like 10, 15 years ago. So dude been in the game for a minute. You know what I mean? So let's see what he's talking about, and let's go. Q is out a robot. What's up?
I literally would not be a walking, talking, breathing being had it not been for the Lord putting Megan in my life. I was completely abandoned.
You just love me the way I need to be loved.
Oh, you trying to get the eyes welled up in here? Is that what's happening? Yeah. I love a good cancellation story. I love it. I really do.
This is getting crazy.
Megan has not spoken about this, but one of the most heartbreaking things for me was, oh, we're going to this thing, and then we get blanked. One thing that really angers me, actually, like I'm actually still angry about it, is
Megan, you didn't have to get in the fight, right? But you did. Is that the fearlessness? Is that the compassion?
I was
hey, Damon, say that again.
Part of me was like,
say it to the folks in the back.
I'm mad at you. Like, I did this, I did that, I did this. You knew that this was my greatest fear, that my mom and dad divorced after 10 years. I want to trust you and I have no choice but to trust you, but I'm struggling with how to ever see anything the same anymore. Like I was like, Lord, am I supposed to be here? And I just heard God say yes. You said yes, then I'm not afraid of nothing. Coretta, you damn right. Absolutely. Positively. Period.
Yo, she's earning that Coretta though. And honestly, let's keep it real. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. As far as I've been following Jonathan's career, and it was funny as I went back in some of my old pictures or whatever from like 4 years ago. I remember pulling up his stuff when he was announced as that Jonathan Majors was announced that he was going to be in Loki season 1, and how excited I was, and it just kind of looking through 2020 2021, and I don't remember a time where he's been on camera this much being so in love with a woman. I've never seen that with Grace. Well, for let's be real, I didn't even know he was dating anybody. So with Megan having, what's up, Gray? So with Megan having her platform, posting him so much now, showing them on vacation and all of that, man, it's super dope. And you can just see this man is just happy. They were on vacation. They were dancing. I think his sister was with him. Sister's guy was with him. They had like a couples retreat. It's absolutely, I'm just me personally, I think it's absolutely beautiful to see, man. So shout out to Jay, shout out to Megan, man. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
The Black community is very forgiving, but when your circumstance is with someone outside of the black community, like whatever, should have been over here. Faith community can be very fickle. So as soon as you do something irreligious, they're like, oh, throw him to the wolves. Then you've got this professional community it's not a community, it's business. Like,
What up, Andre Ware?
Throw him away. How important has Megan been?
I mean, she is just my biggest blessing. With Megan, it is.
One thing, hey, I'm gonna be real with you. One thing Johnny gonna do is cry. Shout out to my man Jay. When he talk about that woman, boy, he gonna cry. Yeah, and hey, yo, check it out, Rashad. Remember all that stuff she was talking? When Tisha Tells was talking, I told y'all. That's why I went hard at her, because I already knew it was false. Y'all was people was up in there. You just make it. You don't have the same followers as her, and you using her for bait. What is she using Jonathan and Megan for? You know what I mean? And I had so many people that did not like the fact that I was going at Tisha Tell. Like, no, Tisha Tell's out here blatantly lying. Yo, come on, man. Like, seriously, man, you see it. You know, for clicks and likes. But he get mad at me because I'm defending him. Like, come on, bro. Like, keep it real with me, dog. I'm going to, because of what I know, I'm going to go hard at that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not coming like as a Jonathan Majors fan. That's my bro. For one, that's the homie. Bar none. So when I know somebody out here lying on a homie like that, yo, I'm going at their neck. Sorry, I'm that friend. Y'all better not be my friend. I'm telling y'all. None of y'all in the chat better never be my friend. Because if anybody go at you and you my homie, dog, they got to deal with me too. So I'm that friend. So you don't want no friend like that, then you don't need to be cool with me. I'm the wrong one.
This is The Deep End with Lecrae.
What's going on, everybody? It's Lecrae.
Exactly.
Welcome to the workshop. Workshop is a place you guys can understand my thought process. You guys are going to be able to unpack and dig into some of the old albums, some of the last several albums that I've done. And on top of that, it's a place where you're going to hear new music. And
okay, I'm gonna kind of
get
past that.
Now, I never read intros because that's just not how I roll. I usually just start talking, but not today because it's too much. So I wrote a whole intro. I did this because this is a special one. We got a couple powerful forces in film and culture, each with a story marked by talent, resilience, and purpose. One of our guests has been gracing the screen since childhood, evolved into like one of the most beloved actresses of our generation. We've seen her, we've grown up with her. She's brought beauty, depth, and strength to every role. I've been paying attention to. I've been watching these films, so I've seen it.
Shout out to Megan. Y'all seen me on camera. I was cheesing from ear to ear. And I'm kind of going to get past the intro because I kind of want to get into the conversation. And I kind of think we already kind of know, but I want to kind of get into the conversation because, let's get into it, especially after the Keno Flex thing. I got to, I don't know. I'll watch that differently. Anyway.
Like, I want to catch people up into your world and what's going on, but I also want to rewind the tape because, like, y'all are, have merged into this relationship and you both experienced a lot of stuff historically, historical traumas, family stuff, divorce, whatever the case may be. I want to know, like, before y'all were married.
Because I want to speed it up just a little bit so we can kind of get through a couple things. Y'all know I like to stop, talk, all of that. So, shout out to Tracy Woods. Thank you so very much, Tracy Woods, for the $10 super chat. You guys are amazing. Jonathan and Megan is each other's blessing. Yes, because I think this is just my personal feeling. I think Megan needed Jonathan more than Jonathan needed Megan. And let me preface this. Jonathan is a man of God, period. That is a man of God. And she has countlessly said that, especially after being with Divine, that she wants somebody that is a man of God, right? And he's in the industry that she works in, right? He's a humble dude. He ain't out here, you know what I'm saying? Even though he walking around here looking like a G.I. Joe action figure, shredded like Rambo, he ain't out here like mentally like that. Like he's just all of that. No matter how they tried to paint him in the media, after speaking to him personally, dude ain't like that for real. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he's Hollywood, so you got a little of the Hollywood in it. It is what it is with all celebrities. He's just not to the extreme. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows what gift he has in the world as far as being in Hollywood. You see what I mean? Robert D, what's up? You know, he knows what he is as far as being in Hollywood. So he's going to have that aura. Everybody does. Every Hollywood star does. Whether you're on the small screen or the big screen, everybody does. The difference here is that you have somebody who just wants to work and wants to put his art out there. And for someone like Megan, who grew up in the industry that loves this art, that's basically a match made in heaven. And again, you know, with Jonathan, maybe she came along at the right time. Maybe she came along. We don't know. A lot of people is like, oh, was she just clearly tells you in this video that she's Cleopatra. We don't know that for sure. You know what I'm saying? You can hardly speculate, but unless she says it, yes, I was Cleopatra that was sexing him that night. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But I believe that, you know, she came along at Jonathan's right time. And with her being in the industry and him kind of being a newbie, as far as like he didn't grow up in the industry, he just now is coming into Hollywood. At that time of the incident, I think the last 5 years, that's good for him too. And now they can be able to you know, play off each other and learn from each other and draw from one another. You know what I mean? And I think that that's beautiful. And you see that now. She likes to work out. He likes to work out. Bam. That's what they got. She's in, you know, he's a man of God. She's a woman of God. Bam. Now they're in the industry. Now they can work together. Now she's putting them on the different stuff, workout gear and other things. Man, I'm trying to tell you, this is beautiful. This is what people are actually praying for. You know what I'm saying? That type of relationship where you need each other. One might need you more than the other, but we still need each other. And I think that that's absolutely beautiful, man. Let me get you that super chat for that, Tracy.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
You wanna be my enemy.
Exactly, need to be if you want me. What we gonna do? You was Cleopatra. He didn't want to be with that woman anyway. He didn't want to be with her anyway. So, but shout out to Tracy Woods, man. Y'all with the super chats early in the morning. I appreciate y'all.
Mm-hmm. Before there was marriage in your eyes, when you were just like 22, 19, 18, what did you think about marriage? What was your perspective? What was your mindset? And then how has it shifted today?
Ooh. You go first, babe. You go first?
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah.
I was a husband. Yes, wife. I'll go first. So I come from my mother and father divorced when I was about 9 years old. Mm-hmm. I am one of three. I'm the middle son. I love you, Monica. Love you, Cameron. Love you, Mama. And I love my father. You know, my perspective on marriage it's what people did. Mm-hmm. You know, it's what old folks did. It was what my grandfather and grandmother did. For me, that was the greatest example of marriage. Mm-hmm. You know, I watched my maternal grandfather, Big Andy, and Polly, my grandmama, really build a life together. And
Facts,
I think
Kevin.
the echoes of their relationship I heard from my uncle and my mother. You know, how my grandfather went off to war, you know, and my grandmother stayed at the farm, you know, or before the farm, you know, stayed wherever they were and held it down. And he then came home and ended up buying the property that my maternal grandmother's family used to sharecrop, and the historic legacy that he began to build for our family. And it was always Big Andy and Polly, you know, Andy and Steen. And that was something that was the clearest example. And to me, I thought that's what, if I were to get married, that's what I would want to have. And so it represents to me like this real strong team, you know, this coupling of two people that were.
He said the right thing, team. The people who are single, the main thing you want to do, you know, is have a teammate. Don't go get you a teammate. Don't go get you just a boyfriend or whatever. Just be having. Go get you a team. Go get you a teammate. You be Jordan. They be Scottie Pippen or whatever you put together. Shaq and Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Peanut butter and jelly. Go be a team.
in many ways extremely different. You know, the men in my family have a habit. There's these big, tall men that marry these little bitty women, you know, and it wasn't on purpose, but it worked out, you know. And they supported each other and they loved each other and it was sacrifice. And the big thing that connected them always was the family, the children, and their faith, our faith, God. You know, it was always in the center of it. So my perspective at 18, 19 years old was, if I were ever to, this is kind of what I would.
And probably Sharita, I've never seen it, so
so you had a pretty healthy picture in terms of like teamwork. And
yeah. It's different with, you know, with my mom and my father, because that didn't go well at all. And then my mother, who is a minister, is a pastor, you know, has been, you know, she has been married, you know, multiple times. You know what I mean? And so I can kind of look at that perspective. But I was blessed to see that.
Let me just say this too. I ran across a quote that said, just because a storm comes doesn't mean it's destruction. Sometimes the storm clears your path for where you need to go to. So always remember that this is not just the mess that happened. Sometimes that mess is for you to clear your path to where you're supposed to be walking into, the straight that you're supposed to be walking into. You know, so never look at situations, you know, if you've been married multiple times or you know, had some bad breakups or whatever, you know, those are ways for you to get up out that mess for the right thing, to the clearer path, the right path to be available for you. That's the way I look at it. And I love that he said that. Let's keep going.
As a man.
Yeah. You saw the highs and the lows.
Yeah, I was grown when I was watching her kind of move through that. I had a stepfather come in who I loved.
Yeah, he kind of,
and I saw he kind of has that. It didn't work, you know. That's
good. Respect. Megan.
Well, my mom and dad divorced they separated when I was 4, and divorced probably officially when I was like 10. And then my mom got remarried when I was 11. And I think for me growing up, you know, seeing my mom in the beginning really struggle with the separation, and to see how in love she was, and to see the heartbreak, and to remember the Marvin Gaye in the middle of the night. And like, I just thought I never want to go through that. And I had this mentality, especially at 19, like I'll never put myself in that position to ever experience that. And so I think it just at that time I was not opposed to marriage, but opposed to giving so much of myself that I could potentially lose myself. And then if and when it doesn't work out, then I will struggle to put the pieces back together. And I just thought I could never struggle to put the pieces back together. And so, I mean, in hindsight, we could talk about the revelation in the long run, but I always decided that when I did get married, I would never get a divorce. I didn't want to go through divorce the way I'd seen my mom go through it. And so my mentality was very much that. And again, in hindsight, that's not the right mentality either, is to stay married just because spiritually you believe and, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. And no matter what, it's got to be right for you and right for the person, you know? So.
And now,
and I'm kind of glad she said that too, because just because you're with somebody, if you're not meant to be together, don't just be together because you think that, you know, the religious part of it, you're just supposed to stay together. If y'all in there arguing, fighting, fussing, cussing, you know what I'm saying, especially if children and stuff, but just get the hell away from each other. Just go your separate ways. You ain't got to be beefing or anything like that. Make a parent plan, keep it, push it. There's no reason to be in something just because a religion tells you to. Use your brain. You use your brain, or you're there for the kids, or I don't want to break up, or you settle, because when you settle, sometimes you can sink in a deeper hole.
In light of all of that, like when y'all move forward and y'all are making this decision, like, no, well, let's do this. We're gonna get married. Like, what wisdom do you feel like now you're bringing into this situation that you know, I guess like what's beneficial for y'all now that you're like, okay, I've seen this, I grew up with this, I saw these pictures, and now here's what is forging something different in this relationship.
Go ahead, baby.
So much. There was no pressure. There was no pressure.
Amen.
I didn't feel like I failed before. I feel like I learned before. And because there was no fear, the worst had already happened in my mind at that time, there suddenly was this freedom for me to, when Jonathan and I got together, there was a lot of things for both of us to be very afraid of, you know, and very concerned with, and you know, anything, you know, from, you know, traumatic attachment to whatever it may be. And I just had zero fear. I just was so fully aware of who I am, even the stuff that I was still struggling with and walking through. And I'm a pretty fearless person by nature, but it was even more like a knowingness about him, a knowingness about me, no fear of failing, only fear of getting the best that God has for me. Seeing myself in areas and ways that I had grown and realizing that some of the things along the way that where I was so fearful about in terms of losing myself, that with the person, you know, that however, for whoever that we're supposed to be with, you won't lose yourself. You you don't have to even change. You only become better. You grow and you evolve. And that's a blessing and a gift. And so I think my mentality was different. I think he's completely different. I think I'm completely different. And
Different in which way, baby?
Different in which way? I think the biggest thing is no fear.
Okay, I got you.
I ain't gonna lie, I like
that's
the
biggest
boots you
thing.
got
And
on.
then with you just love me the way I need to be loved.
Yo,
you trying to.
Yo, I do like the fact that she, even though they're in a interview, they're starting to talk to each other. They're still talking to each other, but her boots is bad. Y'all see the boots? I ain't gonna lie, I like the boots.
Yeah.
Get the eyes welled up in here. Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
What are you thinking, baby?
No, I just like to listen.
I believe that too, Aisha.
You know what it is.
I
she's
believe that
saying.
too.
Yeah.
And I think that's right. That
I ain't gonna
Megan
lie,
is-
I like
you are
women
fearless.
with nice boots.
And that's
I
some
don't know.
gnarly
It's
stuff.
something-
You know what I mean?
you got
Especially
nice footwear as a
where I
woman,
was at
that
in my
is
life when we met and committed and got engaged and got married, and you know, I'm not a fearless person. You know, like one of the things I think about with me and Megan is that when she says she's fearless, she means it. I experience fear all the time, but I do know I'm extremely brave. You know, and that's where we get together. You know, she's fearless, it's not even there. I'm feeling all of it. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna go. You know what I mean? If anybody's gonna go, I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
you know
you're
what I
like,
mean?
I will fight through the fear. And she's like, what fear?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that it's just a great compliment. You know, like I think
That's
I'm not gonna
dope.
have because the thing about it is like Megan and I are actually friends too. You know what I mean? Like I tried to tell her early on in our relationship, I said, I can kiss you, I can, you know, do the sexy, you know, all that stuff, that's cool. But when I give you a fist bump, we're locked in for life. You know what I mean? The first time it was like she did something, yo, respect. And she hit me with that, I was like, okay, it's over now. You know what I mean? Like I got it. You know what I mean? Like I found it.
Hey, real talk though. Real talk. Aisha, you a fool for that. You a fool for that. A big nice boots don't equal big corns. If you pulling off that boot and you look like you've been running around the mushroom kingdom with Mario jumping on bricks, me and you got a problem. Oh man. But anyway, I do like the fact that he said it's simple. Women, ladies, there's some men out here, I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you, that are simple. That are super duper simple. Sometimes all you got to do, man, you got to fist bump. You be cool with some dudes you meet. As long as you keep it cool with them, you know what I mean? I'm trying to tell you, you might have a partner for life because he know that you cool. Like, man, she cool. I can fist bump. We could joke. I could call her big head. I could put my finger up her nose. And all she does is laugh and does the same thing, man. Sometimes it's just simple. Find you a friend, man. Get you a teammate that's your buddy, your friend. If you can't put her, hey, fellas, if you can't put your finger in her nose, don't talk to her. Don't you do it. And y'all up here, man, for real, the Bowser beatdown boots, yeah, you can't come up here in the big mushroom boot. That you can't have core. You can't have both.
You know what? She found me, or God placed us together. You know,
that's the sustainable for sure. That's what makes me
Rashad Walker, you ain't going for the mushroom boot.
So there's a lot of Christians out there who spend days thinking that they're broken or failing God or failing themselves because they're struggling with these unwanted.
I would just skip the which I love what he's doing, but you know, I'm trying to get to the interview. No disrespect, Lecrae. I love you, brother.
Said something, Megan, and I'm like, it triggered because I think a lot of people will say, "Oh, this is some kind of trauma bonding."
What up, Savage Cabbage?
Again, people are on page 2. They don't know what the tabloids say. They don't know
if
y'all.
you get a beautiful woman with nice corns, y'all
like,
going
no,
for
this
it,
is not
fellas?
like trauma bonding. Like this is like we thought through this. We're we processed this. Like what was? And it's not like you it's your responsibility to have to worry about what everybody's saying. But did that ever like come into your brain? Like I'm tired of them saying this, or were you just like whatever? I'm fine.
I never thought about them saying it. I thought more about what do we think and us being conscious and clear on that, you know, and we both have had lots of therapy and, you know, done therapy together, and we've both unpacked a lot. We unpacked things that predated things that predated things that predated things, you know, and I'll never forget, there was one time we had this little argument and I was so mad at him, and he came in the living room and he sat next to me and he said, you know, we're both kids just walking it out. And like that just landed in my spirit because I was like, we're just adults, but we're just kids walking it out, just like our parents are, just like their parents were. And if we can see each other in the purest form and love the fullness of who each other is and commit to walking through all those things without like making it about trauma, but making it about acceptance and about love and about growth and about why has God allowed us to be in each other's lives or why has God placed us in each other's lives. And there's certain things that I can only walk through with him where, you know, it's like, I'm very real with myself. It is interesting because sometimes I'll appear not to be real with myself because I don't want to talk to you about it, but I'm very aware of what it is and I'm clear on that. He's probably the only person who I will be very like, yeah, I know. And then we'll talk about it and I'll be like, oh, you knew that too. Okay, that's what's up. And then I can just really talk to him about it because it is what it is. And it's
facts.
The love is either is
each other
and it really is, and that's no matter what, or it isn't. But one way or another, the only way to find out is completely trust and completely let go and completely allow that person to help you become the best version of yourself. And like I said, not change,
message,
but help you evolve. And then there's a willingness to evolve. That's really exciting, So.
Yeah, I like you said what you said to her with kids walking it out. It's like I always say we're all just giraffes on ice skates.
Come on, that's good.
Like everyone's pretending like, look. And I told my son, I was like, hey,
therapy
he became a teenager, and I was like,
I've had it.
I'm be honest with you, I've never raised a teenager, and you've never been one, so we're gonna figure this out together.
That's the most honest thing you can say.
I love that. That's been the perspective. John, like knowing a little bit about your story and your history, right? Like growing up, I guess you said you kind of had two options. It was like be a drug dealer or an athlete, and then you didn't do that.
No,
you became an artist.
Yeah.
Why?
Man, I really feel like God has been with me in such a gnarly way for so long, and I've been hard-headed, and he just makes things very clear, you know what I mean? Like the dope dealing and all that stuff, like it was around me, it was easily accessible.
Brian,
my mother was very clear.
What?
Like we grew up in a very strict household.
Okay.
Extremely. Military, Southern, Christian. I'm the eldest son, like I grew up with I'm a big rule follower, you know what I mean? Like what are the rules? That has to do with bravery. Like if and I'm disciplined, you know what I mean? Like almost to a fault sometimes, right? But if it says you're gonna lift this weight, that's the way you lift. You know what I mean? If it says you have to read all these pages, this is what you do. You know what I mean? And so that at such a young age allowed me to go, well, I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? And those in my face, and sports and saxophone were probably the hardest things to kind of step away from. He's not my father, but he's my uncle. You know what I mean? And he's probably one of the reasons why. Well, he is the reason why I committed to acting at the age I did, because he was a ball player. He's a little bit taller than you.
Yeah.
Great ball player. And he came to see one of my games, and he saw me play, and I thought I was doing my thing. You know what I mean? Like I thought I was doing it. You know what I mean? We were doing something like, but I was an actor even then. You know what I mean? Like the ball was going out of bounds, and I grabbed the ball and I threw it, and I fell into the bleachers. Like they do in the movies. You know what I mean? Like they do on ESPN. And we won the game. And I got into the truck with my uncle, and Uncle Chuck said to me, "I'm still high on the game, right?" He said, "Listen, nephew," and I said, "Yes, sir." And this is my ideal form. He smelled good. He smoked cigarettes. He was, had money. Had pretty aunts. He got married a couple times too. You know what I mean? He's a man. I had 2 dogs, had a chow chow and a Rottweiler. I was like, this is my man.
This is formative individual in your life.
This is Uncle Chuck. Uncle Chuck. He looked over at me, smoking his Newports. Cool. My stepdad smoked Newports.
Oh yeah,
and,
yeah.
He said, "Listen, nephew."
Yeah.
Said,
What
yes,
up, Mika?
Give me the play-by-play. He said, "I think it's time to think about something else." I said, "What? Did you not just see me do the thing and fall into the thing?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "You're good. You are good, but you're not that good." And I wasn't tall. You know what I mean? I was athletic, but I wasn't. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Down home. You know what I mean? It's a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I didn't speak to him about 4 months.
Oh.
But in that time, the Lord began to work on me. I remember I was in jazz saxophone, and we were playing, and money was tight.
I mean, I'm not gonna laugh. I'm laughing because a little bit is that his story sounds a little bit like mine, except I was really good at football. I was not that great at basketball because I was short, but I was really good at football. And I was on that Bobby Boucher trying to hit everybody at my size. Like, I mean, in high school I was 5. Junior year I was 5'7". So, but I remember meeting my teacher. And my teacher, Miss Wyatt, and Miss Wyatt was in. She had a scene in The Nutty Professor where I was a guy, but now I could grab at 5'7". I could grab rim. You know what I'm saying? I could catch the ball. I just like to hit people because I had an anger issue. You know what I'm saying? Kind of coming from where I came from. I took all the anger that was going on in my life and I put that on the football field, and I started getting noticed. Because here's this little dude who would tackle anybody, you know what I'm saying, and was fast and could jump. So, but I remember Miss Wyatt was like, "You have a gift, in acting. You just have a gift." And if you ever go back and watch The Nutty Professor, there's a scene where it's the third act when they go into the party. And Eddie comes in and he grabs the lady's butt when he walks in. The light-skinned lady with the curly hair is my former teacher, Miss Wyatt. You know what I mean? And she told me about her experience and how I need to go to, she was trying to get me to go to UCLA. No, she was trying to get me to go to USC, where she came from, all of that. And it's funny hearing this story. And I remember how everybody was like, dude, acting is your thing. Acting is your thing. Acting is your thing. And I went so hard for that, even though I played football. Acting was my thing. And I started off playing the jazz saxophone, and then I moved to slide trombone too. So it's like hearing this story and all of that. It's just funny how you have similar situations. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes God does place you in a situation where you could be able to really get into your gifts. And sometimes, you know, he has another path. I never got mad that it didn't work out when I moved to LA. I never get mad about that because I could just do it here. You know what I'm saying? With my new movie that I'm getting ready, my new short movie that I'm getting ready to do, Powerless. So, you know, it's always an opportunity to do it. It's just how much dedication do you want to put on yourself when that avenue shuts? Are you going to build the door to open up one? Or are you going to wait for somebody to open up a door for you? Just a thing to think about.
And I was like, hey, you know, Mom, why don't you just, you know, pound the horn, you know? And we pound the horn. I just changed my schedule. You know, we got a little, what, 450, you know, for the saxophone. And then now I'm just playing ball, you know? And then I'm playing ball. My grandfather just passed, and you heard how much our grandfather was important to the alchemy of our family, our patriarch. He passed, and I remember coming back. We had to run miles, right? And to be on the team, you had to accumulate a certain amount of miles, blah, blah, blah. Man, I came back from that funeral, and I ran that mile like nobody's business. You know, I think I ran it like 5:15. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
10th grade. You know what I mean?
You ran a 5-minute mile?
Jeez, yeah.
I mean, those guys are doing it faster than me, you know, but that was pretty fast for me at the time.
Yeah.
And I came in, I may have came in first, or maybe Wesley beat me. Wesley
Should come in first.
Yeah, no, bro, we don't play out there, bro. Like, we ran.
No, yeah.
But the story is, I run it. My coaches are like, holy smokes. You know what I mean? I'm playing ball, been in the program, holy smokes. And then I sit there, and then we go into the gym, like, Majors, great run. Thanks. I'm sitting there, and I've never thrown up, ever. I rarely do, you know what I mean? I never threw up, and I threw up. And I just kept throwing up. And then I heard something say, it's time to go.
Wow.
And I took my jersey off, left the vomit, but took my jersey off, walked over to Coach Milson. We lost Coach Milson about 5 years ago. Handed my jersey to Coach Milson and said, you know, I think I'm done. And I walked all the way home. And I told my mother that, and she said, "Oh, okay. You know, you sure, baby?" I said, "It's over now. I did it." You know, for me, those are conversations. You know, it's the tiny little voice. You know, telling me, "Hey, move on." You know,
it sounds like you were sensitive to like God's prompting early. Like, I need to do this.
Yeah,
just
or I need to not do this.
Right,
you know,
correct.
And then acting just became. Acting was always there. You know what I mean? You saw the performance I'm doing on the court, throwing the ball in.
I mean, I did the similar thing when I moved to LA. I was just like, you know what? Something's telling me that I got to go, and I left. I got me a bus ticket, sold all my stuff, and moved to California. Was not playing. Didn't have a plan, but I kept hearing a voice was like, you need to go. And I left.
Man, right. I'm acting. It's dramatic. You know, it's not. I wasn't gonna be LeBron James. You know, not bad. Not
Sometimes you need that though. Like I had a coach tell me once. He said, "I've coached a lot of great players, and they went on to play professional sports, and I've coached some good players." He said, "Lecrae, you're not great." And I was like, "Oh, thank you."
It's good to know.
I was like, "Okay," and you know, pushing you on off the ledge as well. I spoke to him again. I didn't leave him out for 4 months.
Right. I mean, my office was like we had church something like you know one of those. You know, but
exactly, Aisha.
So
that's the way
Megan,
I got out of
I don't know
that
when we haven't
conversation.
seen you on camera. Right? Like, you've been in front of cameras. You're like a toddler. It feels like.
Well, like 4, but seriously since I was like 11.
Okay, so my first remembrance of you is like. Maybe it was Ice Cream Truck and Friday. I think
13.
that was like 13. So wait, was he by younger or older?
14. He's by 14.
So Friday was my first time.
Yeah, that was my first time seeing her too.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this is what you were supposed to do? Is this something you were just pushed into? Is this something that you living in LA? It just became a natural part of like what's the idea on your end of the spectrum?
It's interesting because 19 was a very informative time for me. So one of the other things that happened when I was 19 was I was in that weird stage of child actor trying to cross over into adult. I was 19, but I looked 15 maybe. Like when I did Roll Bounce, I was playing 16, but I turned 23 on that set.
Oh wow!
And so I was really struggling with making that transition. And that was the first time that I actually just was like,
"What's up?
I haven't even asked you, Lord. Like, is this what you have for me? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing for the rest of my life? Because if you say no, then as sad as I'll be, I trust you to lead me into something else. That's where I should."
That's crazy that you hear that, because sometimes you do get typecasted in Hollywood, especially. It's not just black actors, just actors in general. It's a lot of actors that get typecast in there. And for her to still kind of have that baby face, and never had her paid. She's a 23-year-old woman playing a 16-year-old. Is it because she's a child actor that was like, oh, you did this before? So that is something interesting, especially if you want to go out and you want to pursue your acting career.
To be. But if you say yes, then I don't care how much rejection. I don't care who tells me no. I don't care who doesn't believe in me. I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. And so in that prayer time, I literally just was like, it was the first time I said, Lord, I just laid on the altar, and I did. And I got that confirmation. And God said to me, this is what you're supposed to be doing, but it's not about you. And I forget exactly the way that, in essence, that as I grew, God would continue to reveal to me how he wanted me to use what he was giving me in this. And that's why we talk about this a lot. Like, I don't believe in competition. Like, you know, it's like I see other women who could be more talented than me, you know, more beautiful, more this or that. I could care less, because I'm me, and I know what I bring, and I know who God says I am, and who everybody else ain't got nothing to do with that for me.
Yep, she was just off the yard.
Thank you, baby. And then also, I want to see
Sam, there ain't no Diddy when you like a woman's butt. I like women. I like women in nice boots.
Journey win. I want to see.
They got big
corns.
corns.
Kiki win. Like, I want to see them win, and I mean that from my heart, not because I should, but because I really mean it.
She was in My Cousin Skeeter.
And so along the way, I've learned that it isn't about me. It's about what I can give back, and how God wants me to use, how God wants to use me, and how God wants me to represent him. And even with that, I struggle, because I'm like, well, I wouldn't say I'm the typical Christian, you know. I can be very religious about some things, honestly, but I can be extremely liberal about other things, you know, and just allowing God to help me navigate.
I'm glad she said that she's not going to be the typical Christian, because sometimes I do see a lot of people who get into religion and don't use their logical brain for other stuff. It's just religion, and sometimes those people don't actually study their Bible. They read, they don't study their Bible, you know, and they get caught up in religion that they can't make logical decisions. So I'm glad she said that.
Navigate that and understand that even that is a part of how God is using me to bless somebody else, you know, using me as a vessel to bless someone who feels like the outcast and the rebel and the this and the that. You are, and God wants you to be. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's been a lot of where I felt a lot of mutual, like, where our brother-sister connections come in, because it's like, I catch like all the, you're supposed to be a Christian, Lecrae. Like, I am, but not the way you have it scripted out. And
not the way you want me to be, but the way God wants me to be.
There you go. I love that. I love that. I'm curious, you know, this might be a question for both of you, but definitely, well, it is a question for both of you. Like, you're public figures, like very public, like as public can get, right? And so much of your life is on the front page of everything. It's like all over the media.
Get to the good stuff.
For you, Megan, I'm curious, like, going through a public divorce from another public figure and everybody in your business, like, how do you navigate that? What is happening? You know, because I feel like I've resolved in certain circumstances where my business was in the streets to either A, like, yep, yep, that's what happened, or B, like, I don't owe y'all anything, so I'm not. This is my life, and I don't owe you this. But I've kind of, sometimes I'm super transparent, like, whatever, man, I don't care. And sometimes I'm like, I don't owe y'all any explanation for this. I'm just curious, like, how you navigated that personally.
It's been a journey.
Okay.
I could say at like 19, 21, when like Media Takeout first came out. And I would see, you know, 100 nice things, and I'd see like the 2 negative things, like, oh, she's this or she's that. And I'm like, but I'm not. And like, I would cry, and my feelings would get so hurt. I would get heartbroken. And then, you know, from that, more of social media and, you know, Facebook and MySpace and all the things. And as developed, I still struggled with that in every season, where I was like, why do some people think that I'm someone that I'm not? And then, wait, why am I giving so much attention to the negativity when that's a small fraction in comparison to all the positivity and love? And then if I look at the people who I'm, you know, in community with, they're all people I love and respect and admire, and they're saying the same kind of things about them. So why am I taking this so personal? And I could understand with maturity that the majority of the things that people say have nothing to do with me. That actually is a lot of projecting of other people's trauma, their issues, their abuses, the things that they've been in. And I had enough maturity in a certain amount of time to go, okay, I can at least put that where it belongs, but it still hurts, you know? And then when I did get married, the church community, that was absolutely devastating for me. Like the situation with Blue Dress BET Awards. I mean, the way I was dragged on the internet and the things that I was called, and not by other people, by the church community, by Christians. I was just like, y'all supposed to be my safe place. And I was like, Lord, you know, it's like, you know my heart. You know what was in my mind. You know what was in my spirit. I'm also not going to change the way that I'm dressing because you haven't asked me to. I don't have any conviction about that. Maybe I will at some point, but at this point, I'm concerned with things that I think are a lot more important.
Hey, I'm going to be real with y'all, man. The church community, some church folks, not saying all, do not come to my comment section like, you be talking about church people. But there's some church folks that can run you away from the church, that community of folks. What up, Just Vibe? They can run you away because of their attitude towards what they think you should be doing and how you're doing. You can't be dressing like that. You're supposed to be a woman of God. You're supposed to be a woman of God. You're the pastor's wife, and you ain't supposed to. They can run your behind right away from church, where you supposed to be communing and understanding and learning and giving each other grace. Like I said, I tell folks in a heartbeat, what is the last commandment that the most that Christ gave the disciples before You know what I'm saying? He was crucified. What was the last commandment? And some people be like, what are you talking about? There's literally one last commandment that he gave. Love thy neighbors like you love yourself. If you don't want me dragging you, don't drag me. You see what I mean? Like, I don't, like, even myself, I do a lot of joking and stuff like that. I'm petty, I joke. You know what I'm saying? It's fun and games or whatever. But somebody does it to me, I'm not gonna get mad. What did you get mad for? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the energy that I put out. But again, love thy neighbor like you love yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's it. It's just wild how sometimes the community can act. Now we're at the 1 hour moment. I'm gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more of the Dre Mac Show.
Knight Rider will continue in a moment.
Them biscuits I smell, Mom.
That's my Hungry Jack.
Tommy takes one of them. Them my mama biscuits. Them my mama biscuits.
Switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Does a 10-pound bag of flour make a really big biscuit?
All right. Let's keep this train going. Let's go.
But not to exclude that not being important for someone. That's just not what God has put on me. Yeah. And so I was just like, what do I, how do I navigate this? And I prayed for years and years and years. When I tell you without fail for like 7, 8, 9 years, like, Lord, please relieve me of the feeling of being so concerned with what other people think about me. Let me only be concerned with what you know about me. And everybody who knows what they know about me are my people in my tribe. And everybody who doesn't feel that way, I can still love them. They can even still be the tribe outside the tribe. God bless them. And not just like, well, God bless them. No, really, God bless them, and just help me get there. And I told him this, like, when I went through this ordeal, when this woman, in essence, bleached my skin. And she was unlicensed esthetician. And at the time, I didn't know that. And she messed my skin up really bad. And for someone like me, who I've built a lot of my career, like, yes, I think I'm a good actress, but a lot of it has come from my skin, like all the things in between. And I felt like someone completely damaged me and potentially damaged my career. I thought, what if my skin never goes back? I thought about every...
Yo, I never knew that. I never knew that somebody did that to her skin. That's wild. Hold on. Puma Lee, thank you so very much for the $5 super chat. I am happy for them. Black people have to stand up for each other. God's grace is everything. He will lead us if we trust. Amen to that, brother. Dun, dun. Matter of fact, let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and hook you up. Appreciate it with the super chat.
Taste the biscuit.
Thank you.
Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
Appreciate it. Puma Lee with the $5 super chat. Let's keep it going.
Little girl who must be looking at me thinking, oh, she doesn't love herself. Or every little brown skinned girl who's been told that she's ugly or this or that grew up with me watching Nickelodeon or whatever it is. And I was just so embarrassed. I was so mortified. I was like, I would never do this to myself. I love my brown skin, and I love the skin that I'm in. I love myself. That was the tail end of it, or the mid part of it during COVID. And I was just like praying one day, and I was like crying. I was like, Lord, you knew I was going to go through this in my late 30s. Like, why? Like, help me understand. And is my skin ever going to get fixed? And in that prayer time, I'm like crying out to the Lord. And I just like felt this feeling of just peace. And it was like, oh, you answered my prayer. There's nothing I can do. I can't get on the internet and defend myself. I can't change anyone's mind. I can't do anything to change this situation. I just have to sit in it, and I just have to accept it. And I still have to move on with my life, and I still have to be happy in my skin and love me. So what everyone thinks, I have to just let that go. Otherwise I'm gonna be miserable, And so in that freedom of just going, okay, none of that actually matters at all. Doesn't matter if it comes back. Doesn't matter what people think. I'm still me, and you know who I am, and I'm still going to be used. That's it. That's all that matters. And then right after I came to that revelation and that got lifted off me is when my skin started to come back. And I was like, okay. So, but after that ordeal, and it may sound vain, but it wasn't, because it's very connected to my identity as a Black woman. It just started coming off of me quickly, you know. And then when I went through the divorce, it was like, I know who I am, you know, and I also know this is a good person, you know. And at the end of the day, what happened is what has happened, and I can't be concerned with what anyone thinks they know, you know, and I can't be concerned with who somebody may think that I am, and I don't wish any ill towards him, and I don't wish anybody to think that for him either. I just want to continue to grow, continue to heal, and allow
maturity.
What God wants me to learn and receive and take from this, make me better, so that when, you know, I do fall in love again one day, I can be the best.
I ain't gonna lie,
and I think I'm better for it. You know, and I'm actually really thankful because I do feel like a pretty kick-ass wife now, and I do feel like I'm able to give love a different way. I think I'm able to receive love a different way, and then I also just don't care what anybody thinks. You know, I'm like, Lord, as long as you tell me what to do, how to do it, then it's gonna be what it's gonna be. All I gotta do is look that way. So
you sound like a person who has not just gone to therapy but done the work. Like you sound like you've done the work.
Absolutely.
You can always hear, I've done the work. So I can always hear when someone's like, yeah, I didn't just show up for my session. I've had to heal. I've done the healing work.
Been on the floor, under the bed. And then some more. Then we got together. There were things I didn't even know.
I think that's extremely powerful. And I want to provide, not because you need it, but just as an encouragement, context, because a lot of people don't understand that they kind of live in their bubble. They don't navigate culture. You're in culture. You're creating culture every day.
Right.
And because of that, there are different things you're navigating that the average person is not having to navigate. And they may think it's frivolous or meaningless, but you're looking at it from a whole different perspective. As a culture creator, your skin, for instance, is like, no, I'm a culture creator. I have people looking at me, seeing me as the embodiment of a successful Black woman, and so on and so forth. And so that does matter. It's not vanity.
Just never knew about her.
In a lot of ways. So I love the way you frame that. And
her
then
skin like that.
I mean, the dress. They killed my wife, her first BET Awards, and it was like, oh my.
I mean, it kind of makes me want to look that up to see, like, did they even have something where, like, they were saying that she bleached her skin, or was it tabloids on that? Because hold on, I'm about to look that up. Oh, wow! I never knew this. I really, being honest with you, because when I met her, she wasn't this. Hold on, let me share my screen real quick. When I met her, she was a little lighter than I am, but I can see what they were talking about. Like, she was just a little lighter than I am now, but I can see the tabloids was just beating her to death, thinking she bleached her skin. Like, but yeah, I can see why. That's why I never knew that. I don't be a celebrity gossip like that, so I guess I missed the memo. But damn, man, I kind of feel kind of bad for her for that, because I know that does affect her career.
It's above her knees. And I was just like, y'all are out of control. So that's a whole nother conversation, and it's fine.
Like, I'm ready to get into it anytime you want to.
That's another conversation. But I've experienced the church hurt, and I've also been canceled multiple times.
Right.
Jonathan. Yeah. I've been canceled multiple times for multiple reasons.
Congratulations.
and what I've had to learn is that you cannot cancel God's plans. So so I love a good cancellation story. You know, I love it. I really do, because this is getting crazy. I love a good cancellation. The reason, like, my next album is called Reconstruction, because, and I don't mean to, belabor the point, but my good buddy Mike D was in his backyard taking apart a treehouse, and he made the point of saying, I didn't demolish it. I gently took the pieces of wood out because I was going to reconstruct something. I was going to use it again. And oftentimes God starts removing pieces and taking things apart, but not so people can, like, blow it up and step on it and do all these things. It's so that this stuff has to be reused. And I think people get excited about demolition, demolition, like kill them, mob mentality, stone them, instead of saying, wait, how can we help them? How can we be gentle so that they can continue to be used? Like, they have no purpose for you after something happens, right? And I think it's very,
and I've said that before, like, especially us. We were so quick, and I'm saying but we were so quick to go after Jonathan just because he was with a white woman. Like, and I get it. That is the image that they show of successful Black men. But then when you saw the graphic from blackdemographic.com that shows like 89% of Black men marry Black women, that's a hell of a ratio. Like, let's be honest. So I get the term, but we don't. But then in the same breath, we don't have that same smoke when black women date white men. That's the only problem that I have. If you're gonna have smoke for one, have smoke for both. Don't pick and choose where you want to. Now you want to be in a smoking session. But if LaQuisha get with Brad, it's cool. Because we looking at him as an upgrade over black men. Now there's some eternal hatred that I'm starting to see. You know what I mean? But then when Jonathan was with Grace, now all of a sudden there's a big problem. Or Anthony Mackie's with a white woman. Making that face. I don't know why he smiles like that, and it looks like he's getting ready to snitch. You're like, yeah, I'm about to tell on everybody. But I mean, people got smoke for him. As long as these brothers is not out here disrespecting black women while uplifting white women, I have no problem of what they're doing. The problem that I had with RG3, don't be talking about you a milkman and all of that while you dissing a sister that you don't know. That's why he's tasting the biscuits. That's why he's a part of the butter biscuit crew. Because you uplifting your white woman and talking about how much milk you eating, milk, and then have the nerves to be dissing Angel Reese and snapping your neck and doing all of that while you performing for your white woman. Nah, you can't have it that way, big dog. So yes, there's gonna be smoke for that. But Jonathan never came out and said, I hate black women, I love my white queens. Never came out like that. So why? Because eternally, we have been programmed, especially in the black community, especially towards black women, to hate black men no matter what they do. And I'm keeping it a buck, to hate black men no matter what they do. Black men gets with a white woman, they hate your guts, black women. They hate your guts. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even like that. What if he just fell in love with her? What if that was just the person he wanted to be in love with? Nope, damn, now he hates you. You know what I'm saying? Because when they get successful, they turn around and get with a white woman. You see what I mean? And maybe that's not the case. There is brothers and like there is sisters that don't like us. They don't like black men or black women. And they have the nerves to come out and talk that ish, but don't want the smoke when it comes to them. You see what I mean? They get in trouble. They get in situations, all of that. They could be legal. One of the brothers who was dissing black women, was murdered by his white girlfriend. And black woman was like, we're going to stay out of that because he shouldn't have been dissing black women. I can't be mad at that. But in Jonathan's case, Jonathan he was just with a white woman. It was like, nope, don't want to hear it. And I think that's so unfair because they was just uplifting Eve when she was with her white man, Maximilian. And I'm like, you see the hypocrisy in our own community. So I think that's the biggest issue. Let me keep going.
Telling of where we are as a society, right? Yeah. That mob mentality. But I do want to talk because in many ways, people would consider different areas of your world having experienced cancellation, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's socially, it's emotionally, it's relationally, it's professionally, culturally, and I've experienced probably all of them. Mm-hmm. But I'm curious, like, were there any specific areas you felt rejection in? And it was kind of like, man, these, like, wow. Like, I'd expect it from here.
The only place there wasn't rejection, I got it. I got it, and then we got it from all sides. No, I'm gonna speak to this. The one place I didn't expect to feel it was through my partner and then through my wife. Like Megan has not spoken about this, but I'm brave. We talked about that. I'm tough, you know what I mean, and whatever, right? But one thing I did not anticipate, and one thing that really angers me, actually, like I'm actually still angry about it, is the people and the corporations and the cowards that tried to punish my wife for loving her partner and then husband. One of the most heartbreaking things for me was, oh, we're going to this thing, and then we get blanked. Or I mean, look,
you for real, Jay?
Yeah, I'm just through with it. I'm really through with it. Like that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
because you don't want to see someone else.
Like, how dare you? Like, that's not how this goes. You know what I mean? If somebody makes a mistake, right, or is perceived to make a mistake, you can't punish the homie because this or their wife, especially not their wife, and then to lie about it. Cowardice. That I don't have. I never had patience for that. Through my therapy and all my work, I still do not have patience for that. A coward is no good. And I pray for it. Yeah, and there are places not within my immediate family, but within my family where they got caught up in the mob mentality and attempted and continue to try to hurt, and maim, that stuff is gnarly. You know, as far as culture, like as far as the homies and work. I went to high school. You know what I mean? I made it through high school. Like I know what it is to be picked on. I know what it is to be bullied. I know what it is to sit at the the chump table and all that stuff. Not get picked for the team. That's fine. Like I've always been off to the left. Even with all the clubs I was a part, Ivy League, drama school, the academy, Hollywood. I've always been off to the left. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I'm peculiar in that way. And I've always been. And the Lord has made me very comfortable with that. So when it comes to just to tap on the point you're talking about, like the commentary, that never bothered me. You know what I mean? And I never had an appetite to look. I'm just not built that way. It's not that I don't care. It's just my interest is not in what
these folks got to say.
It isn't what it is. I'm like, you're talking about something that was there, and with all due respect, that's between you and you. You just screamed in a vacuum. If you really mean it, you know where I'm at.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, I'm being real. You know what I mean? Like play it both ways. Like if you really love me, show it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you really got a problem,
Yeah.
If you it's funny, man. I feel like, yeah. I mean, there's one more thing I'm going to touch on, but it's okay. I believe it. Am I okay? But okay.
You okay?
You did great.
Yeah.
If I was published, I'd be like, good job.
Yeah.
But sincerely, I think you said something, and I think that's very interesting because as I backtrack.
But let's keep it real. You can see in his body language that it did bother him. I've worked so hard to get where I need to be. Things happen. He made a mistake. He done some things that, damn it, shouldn't have went that far. We gave everybody else grace, but basically, F you, dog. You know what I'm saying? We gave everybody else grace, and let's keep it real. Disney's a big part of that because Disney try to, be on this moral high ground. Y'all hired William Hurt. Y'all kept Jeremy Renner despite before he almost became legs. When Jeremy Renner was going through his bingers, you still kept him. You made sure he was good. You gave Robert Downey Jr. a chance. Now, technically, at that time, Disney wasn't a part of Marvel at that. They wasn't. Because it wasn't the Marvel Studios. It was different distribution, all of that, yada, yada, yada. But you still gave him an opportunity to make a change, to give him an opportunity to be better. And that's why when he was in that TMZ interview and he said, man, I just wish y'all extend me the same grace that you did Mr. Miller, talking about Ezra, that they did. I mean, Warner Brothers kept Ezra Miller, and this dude was literally the real-life Reverse Flash out here. Six of Truth, I gotta keep it real. He was almost legs. It's not right. God, I hate sometimes being a comedian. But he was almost legs out here. You know what I mean? But my whole thing was, just give me the grace, and it does. And then everybody else is shunning your woman because of me. You can punish me, cool. Don't do that to her. She didn't do nothing. So I get, and it bothered you could tell when somebody love you and something bother because the way he started adjusting, started changing that microphone. Oh yeah, he wanted to get in it. He wanted to get in it. So yeah. Q is not a robot. Thank you becoming a new member on the channel. Appreciate it. Let's freaking go, man. Let me hook you up with something. You know what I mean? Let's go back, way back to Body Roll.
Super chat, Body Roll.
I ain't brought that up in a minute. Let's keep going.
Most people have a corner that like at least one little amen corner. And I feel like, there's some support group that, you become a martyr for an ideology or a group in some sense, but then you have this little, this corner, like we see the Sydney Sweeney stuff going on and all kind of stuff. And it feels like if you apply that framework to your situation, it didn't exist.
It was not that.
Right. It didn't because.
Oh, hey there. I'm Lecrae. I know you probably think this is going to be a podcast episode for the deep, but it's not. So for all of you who are planning on swimming the deep end.
Okay. Hold on. He went to commercial break.
Okay, so generally speaking, the Black community is very forgiving, but when your circumstance is with someone outside of the black community, like whatever, should have been over here, you know. And then I don't think people in the faith community can be very fickle. So as soon as you do something irreligious, they're like, oh, throw him to the wolves. Then you got this professional community it's not a community, it's business. And they're like, oh, you're not good for business anymore, throw him away. And I do think that's very interesting. Like that is a very lonely place. You know what I mean? And I admire your resilience. I actually celebrate this in a lot of ways. And the reason why is because I love a good cancellation story, because I love a comeback story. And I think that's what God writes in scripture. Like I love the prodigal son story. It's beautiful. It's like this man was in Vegas with hookers and prostitutes and he gets to come home. Or King David, it's like, you know, it's like, no, this is a man after God's heart. Like it's the internal thing that God sees. And yet we as people are like, nah, he went off the line here, or she messed up here. We don't like this. And they throw you away. So I'm curious.
That's why I always say that they call it, you call it discernment. I use energy. Like I can just read people energy. And I know when some people are don't care about their life and, you know, they just don't care. And when some people are really trying and just trying hard, you can just feel it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always say vibe higher. Because when you vibe in on it, when you're on a higher frequency, you can start feeling other people's empathy. You know, where they're at it, show them that empathy. And that's what he's speaking on. You know, people don't have it's not empathetic no more. Anytime that they can just destroy you, they will. They will. They don't have no problem destroying you. So
it's like, how important has Megan been to your journey of like solidarity and processing like all these corners being non-existent?
That's a good question.
Don't look at me. No, Megan has been and continues to be. I mean, she is just my biggest blessing.
Celebrate her, bro.
There are things
Celebrate her.
She has witnessed and things that she has given. Because I didn't know. I was completely abandoned. You know what I mean? Like, and even if you spoke to me, you didn't speak to me. You spoke to this idea and you spoke to this thing. And it was really more about you than it was about me. And I didn't care because you were just talking to me. But with Megan, it is. But love you too, girl. It's very important to answer the question. It was very important because
but they gonna cry,
helped
boy.
me.
I swear.
I could test.
Man, how good does it feel to be speaking on somebody you just start crying because you get? I mean, golly. I'm just saying, it must be a beautiful thing.
You know what I mean? I could go, this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm feeling. You know, what do you think about that? You know, and she would answer, and she would continue to show up. You know, because it's like
got him in his darkest
you're so
time
lonely,
too.
You know what I mean? And you're so ashamed. You know, and you're trying so hard not to play the role that everyone's telling you should play. You know, and she allowed me to continue to write my narrative. You know, and to not succumb to the evil. That like cancellation culture is not they throwing you away, they're damning you.
You're so hard.
They're damning you, they're damning your seed, they're damning your partners, they're damning your associates. For whatever reason, that's what they're doing. And for Megan to be my water in hell, my ladder in hell, you know, my light in the dark, you know.
And he spoke upon that before, not just the situation, what he was going through internally. Yes, he was going through what he was going through in the public eye, but nobody really probably understood what he was going through internally. In the mistakes he was making along it, he's spoken upon that in different interviews since then, you know. But to go through it yourself and be in that dark place internally, that's hard. That's when you really got to lean on either your faith. You got to go get some therapy and all of that, because man, it's hard to when you're going through so much and nobody's really seeing that when you're going through internally. So to be able to have a partner that can help you when you're going through that internal destruction, or not destruction, the eternal sucking place. Put it more like that. When you don't feel like you can get the hell up out of here, and somebody gives you a lifeline, somebody pulls you up from that, encourages you, speak life into you. I don't think nobody's, you know, is expendable. You got to be able to speak life into somebody. And what I like, if you take anything away from that, look at what he's doing and what she's doing to each other. They're both speaking life into each other. You see what I mean? People want this idea of a relationship. We go to it's Jonathan and Megan, it's Tiana Taylor and the brother forgot his name. And now it's somebody else, and Russell Wilson and Sierra and all these other people, whatever. Yes, those are good models. But when you're in your relationship, are you going to speak life into your partner? And is your partner going to speak life into you? Aaron Pierre, thank you. Somebody said they look like beautiful cats. And I cannot unsee that now. But are you going to be able to speak life into each other? See, it's the thing. We can always destroy each other when you're in a relationship. You can always go in and be like, oh, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, yada, 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 and destroy each other. But can you speak life? That's the big thing. And what I love about this, if you don't take anything away, if you think it's fake or whatever, or you don't like it, that's not my bag. But also look at this. Who is speaking life into you? Like they're speaking life into each other. And if you don't have somebody who can't speak life into you, why be with them?
I mean, I've said it many times. Like, I literally would not be a
they
walking,
do look like
talking,
beautiful cats, though.
being,
Not gonna lie.
had it not been for the Lord putting Megan in my life. And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? You're right. Oh man, what you doing? Can we get some? What you doing? Some tissue over here.
Yeah. I was trying not to.
They gonna cry, boy. I swear to God, I love it.
I get it.
They gonna
That's why
cry.
I'm so grateful because I've been there. And if my wife was not the rock, the
You see
solidarity,
what I got too.
the place I could go, and it was just like,
I still
where
like
else do you
Megan's
turn?
boots.
You need a community of people, and it's like everyone is seemingly just looked sideways. So
Oh,
it's just the most
that's so cute.
No.
Just think, hold on, wait a minute. Stop for just a second. You can say, oh, they're acting. Because this is what the detractors gonna say. Oh, they're actors and they always cry. This is what they do. They're actors, so they go cry on set or whatever. Think about it like this. Think about it like this. That's Meagan Good. Now, I don't care. This is still Meagan Good. People still love her. And she is literally like crying because a man is speaking life into her and is grateful for her presence and what she has done. That's all I'm going to say. Just marinate that in your spirit just for a little bit.
You need one, Papa?
I'm straight. I just use my sleep.
Thank you. Of course.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah. So I say like I just want you. I see you. You know what I mean? And I think people tend to not want to see the person. You know what I mean? Like the whole person. And I know, and it's obvious that she sees you. You know what I mean? It's so obvious. And I think people just look at the superficial landscape of it all without realizing like, these are humans. These are dynamic people made in the image of God who experience so many different things. Who are just as vulnerable to depression, to anxiety, to fear, to disappointment, to hurt. And yet we establish them as so high and lofty that we think we can just throw rocks at them. And
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? And so
absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then people forget we're also just people.
Yep.
First and foremost.
You know?
You're just
First and foremost,
ordinary people.
And we're all just kids walking out.
Boy. Giraffes on ice skates. I'm trying to tell you. And most people
giraffe.
are as well.
Yeah.
One of the quotes, I don't know where it came from, but I love it. It's that, you know, one of the highest callings God has given us is to be human. Not to be less than.
Come on.
Not to be more than. Right?
Preach.
Don't be subhuman.
Right.
Don't damn people.
Right.
Don't be superhuman.
Right.
It's outside of the realm of your possibility. Be human.
Right.
And that's what y'all was saying. It's like we're kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Trying to walk this out. We're human.
And everybody is, like you said, not just us, like we all are.
Yeah.
And if we could treat each other with more of that, if we could actually just focus on the one thing that God's asked us to focus on, which is loving each other, you know what I'm saying? No matter how you cut it or where you get it from, that's the command.
Yeah.
If we could do a lot more of that and then a lot more letting God be God, you know, so we'd be much happier and everybody else would be much happier.
Listen,
you know?
it's very simple. Love God, love people, and go live life.
Yeah.
Do all that, you're good.
Love your neighbor as you would love yourself.
Thank you.
And this is where it gets gnarly, right?
Thank you. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Just like I said earlier, a lot of people will throw you away, but do you want to be thrown away?
Because I believe everybody knows that.
Yeah.
And I believe that everybody really thinks they're doing that. And so when that comes, I feel so bad for everybody else because they've canceled parts of themselves when they've made mistakes, when they've fallen down.
That's right.
And so they can't have it. We can't have it both ways. You know what I mean? We can't have it both ways. It's like, oh, that's what you do to yourself.
Yeah.
You damn yourself, right? And then you medicate to cover it. Then you blog to cover it. You know,
you condemn.
And you condemn to cover it. You know, and I'm not gonna. Everybody here is potentially guilty of that. You know, but there is something about being in the fire. You had Brother Will on, Will Smith, right, man? That's my dog, man. Like we would talk a lot about just sit in hell by yourself. You know what I mean? Can't nobody save you. You know what I mean? And this is the curriculum. Right?
Nobody will save you.
Like it's in the Bible,
right?
You know what I mean? All the homies that messed up, all the homies that fell down, right? They have the lessons. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, you know, you gotta find yourself in a really bad situation to come out of it better.
Yeah.
But
everyone who did,
I know 12 of them.
That's right.
That really, you know, in a weird way, you know, and found themselves being the first Christians, the first true followers of Christ. You know, I'm not trying to martyr myself or sanctify it, you know, but that's the real deal. You know what I mean? I'll leave it at that.
You were talking about,
like, I think sometimes I think this is just me probably just looking at too deep, but because of the sound clip that went out of him, you know, do you know who Martin is? Do you know who Martin Luther King is? His wife, Coretta, you know, and all of that. I think he's more aware now, and he don't want to give people sound bites. But I kind of want him to keep going. I want him just to say what's on his mind. Man, F these people, man. If you want to be the next Martin Luther King, who tells you not to? You know what I'm saying? You got Coretta Scott King next to you. Who tell you not to do it? Just do it. Just do it. I'm for it.
What Will said, and even yourself, is sit in the fire. Megan, you didn't have to get in the fire, right? But you did.
Did
you know what I mean? Like, is that the fearlessness? Is that the compassion? Like, what was it? A both?
That's a good question. What's the fire?
It was interesting. I said this to him too. I'm going to say everything to him. He's my best friend. But at that time, I hadn't prayed a lot. I wasn't. How do I say it to be clear? I wasn't upset at that time because I had already walked through a lot of that with the marriage ending and all that. I was still upset at God. I was like, a part of me was like, you bamboozled me. I'm mad at you. Like, I did this, I did that, I did this. You knew that this was my greatest fear. You knew that my mom and dad divorced after 10 years. And that's exactly what happened to me. I want to trust you and I have no choice but to trust you.
Yeah,
but I'm struggling with how to ever see anything the same anymore.
Yeah,
and then when it talks about, you know, the in the Bible where it was planted on different parts of the ground, you know, I was like, I don't want to be the one that as soon as it gets tough, it gets strangled out of me, you know? And I was like, so help me, you know? And so I hadn't prayed that much, you know, in a while, really. And when him and I started hanging initially, you know, just spending time together, it was the first time I felt in my spirit. Like, you may not be able to pray for you right now, but you need to pray for him. And praying for him is what brought me back to prayer.
Wow.
And having conversations on his behalf is what started conversations about my own behalf.
Hey, yo, I'm not gonna lie. That's deep. That's deep, especially if you're a religious person or you feel like you strayed away. You praying for somebody else get you back to where you need to be at, man. I ain't gonna lie, that's deep. Without Wavy Don Wine, I ain't gonna lie, that's a little deep. That's deep. That's deep. Because if you really think about it, man, a lot of people, you got to hit your notifications. I don't tag nobody. You got to hit your notifications, big dog. Hit that bell icon so you never miss one of my videos. But it's deep for the simple fact is that it's just so many times that we won't even pray for ourselves, but we tend to pray for somebody else in the midst of what they got going on. Man, that's deep.
And
that's deep.
And then also just like praying at that time, I was like, Lord,
you good though,
am I supposed to
Wavy?
be here? And I just heard God say yes. And it didn't give me full confirmation of like, you know, forever or anything. Like, it was just like, yes. And I was like, all right, Lord, I'm just going to trust you and just walk it out. If you said yes, then I'm not afraid of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like coming through that, going through what I felt was the worst at that time, to coming into a different relationship with God that had been tested in a way that I never imagined, to moving into this space and everything that we couldn't have foreseen all that would come with it. But, you know, we knew it wasn't going to be no cakewalk, you know? And just hearing God for the first time in so long, or maybe just listening, you know, for the first time in a long time, and knowing that I was where I was supposed to be, made me it just made me positive. I just had nothing, you know, and it's like, you know, there's just nothing anybody could tell me. Once God tells me something, even if I don't know what the end result is, even if the answered prayer is going to be some bleached skin and it's going to be crazy, I know he's going to bring me through on the other side better than when I went in. And that is all part of the journey. And that journey is for the usage, you know, and that is my purpose. And that's who I'm called to be. So at that point, there was no fear. I was like, y'all better bring it on. Every single time. Is Coretta? You damn right. Absolutely. Positively. Period. And much respect to Coretta Scott King when I say that, because if people understand the icon that she is, to me, that's, y'all not making fun of me. Y'all blessing me. You know what I'm saying? And I aspire to be. Go, girl.
Hey, yo, that's how you spin the narrative. When people was joking about her, like Megan Scott King or whatever, you know, that's his Coretta, and everybody's making jokes about it. You know, she turned around and made something good out of it, man. That's dope. It's funny now, but that's something dope. You know what I'm saying? That's something dope.
I aspire to be something like that. I aspire to be that kind of woman and to put that into the world and to use myself to any way that God wants to use me in the world.
Yeah.
So
it's happening in real time. What I feel like, if you have eyes to witness it, you're seeing two people with scars coming together. And it's a redemption story in a lot of ways, right? And I like scars because scars are the evidence that wounds heal, right?
Wow. Say that again, Lecrae. Say that again. Scars are evidence that wounds heal. Bars. And you know what else is bars? Miss Roberta just gifted 10 memberships of the Dre Mac Show to be part of Magnificent Crew. Shout out to Miss Roberta for that. Oh, Miss Roberta, you gonna make me go out here and be like,
you are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
I gotta do something for memberships, but thank you so very much, Miss Roberta, for the 10 memberships. Now, all you got to do is go hit the like button too. Get your free membership and a like button. Go ahead. Do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Thank you so very much, Roberta. Y'all be blessing me. That's why I said the women in the chat be blessing me. And I really appreciate you guys. Like, you have no idea. Yeah, he fighting the air. And you fighting that biscuit. The craving to get a butter biscuit.
That's why I like scars. Like, I show off my scars, and I feel like I'm very proud of y'all for like embracing that and then moving forward and forging a new path and writing a new history. That is brave. You know, that is fearless in a lot of ways. It's bold. It's encouraging, and then like you guys don't just like fall by the wayside and go skip off happily ever after. Like, you guys come back out and say, you know, we're going to start a business together and we're going to tell the world about it. And we're going to promote healing and health. And like, what was the thought behind it? Tell us about what's happening in this space.
All right. So, yeah, I guess it's been about 2 years in the making.
Okay.
So there is now a entity and a real business. It's a fitness, lifestyle, wellness culture. And it's called Honor Culture. Go ahead, baby. Yeah, it's called Honor Culture. And let's talk about it like a character, right? The character of Honor Culture, the objective, right, for Honor Culture is to give guidance, give community, give structure, and give access to the greatest, deepest part of yourself as an individual. Okay, that's actually what my scripts look like, and then I start breaking it down so it's playable. So essentially, we've established, we are attempting to and have began to establish.
We're going to, baby.
What's up, baby?
We're going to.
Yeah, I mean, sold out. We sold out. You know what I mean? So we sold out. So what's a culture, right? Culture.
Yo, I do kind of like the way that she corrected him, because he was saying they will. He said we are. She was speaking. Oh, y'all, man! I'm trying to tell y'all, y'all not, man. Get the gems, fellas. If you out here, you looking for a lady, you see, if your lady corrects you so you can speak it into existence instead of just thinking, she's speaking. Man, boy, you better stop. Better go.
Is how people think, how people move, how people address one another. You know, it's filled with decorum and understanding. Like, there's a culture amongst us as entertainers, as public figures, as members of the same, all members of the African diaspora. Everyone in this room is a community, and we have a culture because we live in the Western world, right? So Honor Culture is that specific and also that global in that way, right? The epicenter of it started in West Hollywood, in a basement gym, and usually around 4:55 a.m.
Okay.
Which is around the time.
I was going to ask for some training help and whatnot, but now I don't know.
Yeah, no, trust me.
Okay.
And it was a group of individuals that I was training with. I would show up every day. This is at the height of you're on the cover of the New York Times, and not the way you used to be. You're here, you're here, you're here, you're here, you're here. You know, I couldn't raise my head up. You know, it's very difficult. I was just beginning to get close and open up to my therapies and began to start searching for other things. And I found myself leaving my bed with my wife and then go and then heading to the gym. And in the gym, I began to train and work, and I realized I had all this understanding about the body. I had all this understanding about like making the mind and the spirit work to promote the growth or the changing or the shifting of the body. And I had a buddy in there with me, and then he had a buddy that came, and then she had a buddy that came, and after that, we would just sit and talk. And then sometimes after we would sit and talk, we would go up and have breakfast. And that became the ritual, nonstop. And then I'd come home, and then it'd be another session with Megan, and then Megan and Lamaya, our sister. And then our brother-in-law would show up, Eric Bellinger. And then the best friend would show up, Amy Bell. And she would bring her husband, Ricardo Bell, Ricky Bell. Ricardo. Because when I read his name, sometimes it says Ricardo. We started building this community. And what we found is like, yes, everyone was losing weight, but everybody was happy, right? Everyone was experiencing joy. Everyone had someone to talk to. We were all coming there with all of our stuff, like the detritus of life. You know what I mean? Like all of us in many ways, like probably 50-50 from the entertainment industry or just from life or just, you know, just a human being coming in there and having that community. And I thought there's got to be a way. You know, me and Megan thought there's got to be a way to bottle this up, right? And get it out to folks, you know? And of course, the culture, right? Like how we move, how we talk, the mantras. You know, these things are not to be prescribed, right? But they are things that you can take, right? Very much like drama school, right? You take what works, you leave what doesn't. But what we're offering is a cornucopia, right? Of ways in to yourself, right? We believe in 4 pillars.
Y'all, you said cornucopia. Don't you know that?
What we offer is 4 pillars, right?
He out there making sure Rick Bell is in shape.
Physical, that's the body. Mental, that's the brain, right? And then all that is nutrition, right? That's the body. And so we're trying to educate, right? And just give information, not teach anything, but give information, right? As you get that information, maybe you'll do better. Maybe you'll understand yourself more. Because the last thing I'll say is that they try to separate us in so many ways, right? And then what do? We separate ourselves, right? You got guys who just work the body, but their mind's not right, right? People that think, oh, if you work your body, you're dummy, or if you only work your mind, you're soft. You know what I mean? Like, no. All these things are connected. I'm not asking you to walk around look like me or walk around look like Megan. I want you to look like the best version of yourself. Our goal is for you to honor yourself. And yeah, we're gonna give you some apparel that you can wear and make you feel good, right? And the apparel is made honorably in the same way, made right here in Los Angeles. I'm in my CEO chat. I'm gonna pull out.
No, I like what you said. So like what I hear you saying is it's about integration. Yes. Right? It's integration. You're not separate entities, you're living integrated. And in honor culture is more than just apparel. The apparel is more of a flag. Come on, it says, hey, we are passionate about living integrated lives when we are honoring one another, honoring the wholeness of who we are. And I'm your brand ambassador.
I just love it. It was like,
I'm your brand ambassador. I got you. It's all good. You know, I'm your brand ambassador. They sold out before I get to it, so it's fine. I'll show up at your house.
Hey, look, real talk though, as soon as I was getting ready to buy me a hat and a hoodie, they sold out. Which I ain't gonna lie, I probably wouldn't have been able to wear that hoodie for another month and a half because it's hot here.
Yes.
I just want to add one thing too. Like earlier, you had asked me if I've been on a consistent journey of working out. And I was saying like, since I was like 35, like, yes, I've been working out pretty consistently. This program is different than anything I've ever done before. And the reason that it's different is, and this is kind of always a part of how I describe it is, you know, when you talked about the community and everybody coming in and bringing, you know, their stuff in a way, there are things that you can't get off in enough therapy. You know, there's some things that only prayer can do. But even like with prayer, there's things that God will have us to do to release it, like anointing oil or, you know, or something. If you may want to go, you know, put that whatever in the water, in the beach and let it flow, you know, it's like, you don't need to do that for that to happen, but you need that for it to connect to your brain and to your body. And so this type of workout, so many of us found that at the end of it, in the beginning, things were coming off of us that we just sat there in the middle of the floor and just cried. And we were just like hugging each other and things that people, you know, like Jim Brown is my godfather. And he had just passed away, you know. And so Monique Brown started coming and bringing, you know, Eris Brown and Morgan Brown, which are his 2 youngest kids.
Morgan.
They're beasts, by the way.
Beast. Shout out Eris.
Yeah, shout out Morgan. Mo. We got Mo. Mo's a special human being. And Pope. Pope is Bishop's brother.
Okay. Bishop is our dog.
Bishop is our dog, yes. So, but the things that you hold inside yourself that it's like you can't say it enough. You can't talk about it enough. You can't, it just has to come out of you a certain way. And that's what this workout for me has been extremely healing and has taken away a lot of it's brought a lot of good juice and joy and whatever out of my heart, and my spirit has made every single day just better and made me more equipped for life in general. So I do feel like I'm truly honoring myself. And I do feel like everybody who's become a part of it is honoring themselves, and we want to honor them. So
that's really great. Yeah, I feel like, you know, specifically like in a religious community too, like neuroscience is catching up to the Bible in a lot of ways. Like renew your mind daily. That's in the Bible. So it's like, what do you do to renew your mind? Like in ancient biblical times, they walked everywhere. They had a really great diet. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of helpful things that they processed. And, you know, I wrestled with a severe episode of depression. And my therapist at the time was like, hey, you need to get in here and do this therapy and do all this work, but then you need to get in the
work
gym.
out. Yep.
And then I started, and it was probably the most healing part of my journey was the exercise. And I didn't realize that.
Exercise.
So, you know, so
absolutely.
Hats off.
I too.
That is a big, that I can attest to that. Once you, cause I went through a really bad depression spell in 2021. And the biggest thing that I started doing was going to the gym. Like I would go to the gym, you know, after work. And that's when I had time to do it after work because I wasn't doing a morning show like I am now, which I now have gym workout equipment in my house now. So, but at that time I would get off of work. I was going through, I'll go work out, even if it's just lifting. You know what I'm saying? It was just something to get my mind off of what my brain was going through. You know what I'm saying? I would come home, you know, I would cook, you know, me something to eat or whatever, you know, do a little meditation and go to bed. And then slowly but surely, I start working myself out of that depression. So what they're saying is absolutely correct, man. I love this part. This is good. This is good stuff.
Suffer from severe depression, diagnosed. And this is a part of my regimen. You know what I mean? Like, who really is? Cornel West, like crack vessel. I'm a crack vessel. You know what I mean? And I was like,
amazing.
Yeah, me too. You know, like, but the body, right? Like that's one thing we all have in common. We all got different amount in our bank account. We all, you know, have different hair on our head. We all walk around in different, you know, meat sacks, right? But we all have one. You know what I mean? And without a shadow of a doubt, you're gonna carry it in you, right? Like there's a book, The Body Keeps the Score. I read that. Right? Yeah. It's just it's the lexicon, right? We just start with that, you know. And there is something about, and I have two things. I think we're at time. I feel like you're about to wrap us up.
No, listen, we're here.
Okay. But there's something about accessing the body, right? Because the world hits you and you change the way you move, right? And if you can open it up, right, and make it free, if you can experience your strength, so much confidence can come, right? And so much pain is locked in there. And it's not a sore ankle, right? Sore ankle or a tore. No, it's the fact that your dad left when you were 9, that you were touched. And you walk that way because you were touched, you know, from this age to this age, and you haven't spoken about it. You know what I mean? And the body can open. The body will tell you, and it's communicating that to you. And through the gym and through community like this, you begin to access it, right? And so we get to what the Greeks call the toukalan, right? The ideal form, right? And that's what we want to be. We want to be the ideal form of ourselves, right? We're made in the image of God. Let's be the best version of that image, right? And then the final thing I'll say, why it came to us and why I'm so happy that the Lord speaks to you in the language that you know, right? And I would be remiss to not touch on that because we are creators, right? All of us are here are creators. So it makes sense that the Lord would touch career, right? With public figure, would touch our career in a way that would make us transform ourselves. Because that's the dialogue we understand, right? If you were to touch our families, that would also change the dynamic, would change a part of me. But you're speaking to me through the thing that you put in me. You know what I mean? And like, art is an incredibly important part of my life, and so is wellness. You know, and so that's the gift that I think we're trying to really give. The career will take care of itself. You know what I mean? I'll continue to make work. She'll continue to make work, and that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. But with On a Culture, it's like it is in many ways a ministry, right? Very much like the acting as a ministry. And the last thing I'll say about On a Culture, Luke 32 verse 22 is written very, very, very tiny on our website, and it's a quick chat, almost like a text that Jesus is sending to Simon, right? And he says quite simply, he says, "But I prayed for you,
what up, she?
Simon, that your faith will not fail, and when you depart from me, strengthen your brothers, right, or sisters." You know, that is the core of On a Culture, right? You experience the time, you allow yourself to be changed and shifted by the work, but it doesn't stop there. You have to go strengthen your brother. You have to go strengthen your sister. And so, we're just getting started. So it's going pretty well.
What a start. You're sold out.
God's good. Yeah.
So, okay, when is the re-up? When do, like, is your, like, is
man, can I get
if I go to ourculture.com, like, tomorrow.
You don't got to worry about the re-up, man.
But we got some cool stuff coming.
Yeah, we got.
Yo, can I get something? What's up, Jay? Can I get a shirt?
We got another drop, we got fall, winter drop kind of coming. The top and bottom already kind of fall, but
I want to be a good brand ambassador, so you're going to have to get me right, bro. We got you. I'm talking about in shape. I need to look better. You're better than average.
You're better than average.
But, you know, I want to be the ideal form. What's the Greek word?
I knew you were going to say that.
Tukalon. Yeah, Tukalon, the ideal form.
Tukalon. I'm trying. That's what I'm aiming for, man. That's what I'm aiming for. Yeah, I mean, I'm blessed, man. Like, I'm encouraged. I feel like I just want to see y'all win. You know what I mean? Like, I hear everything y'all are doing. I hear the heart. And I think it's important to see people, and man, I see you, and I think there's a lot of other people who can see themselves in your story, and you know, oftentimes that's the case. Is they're not the loudest, but they are the ones who are the most impacted. And I'm just going to tell you, in 1,000% transparency, I'm deeply impacted by y'all's journey, like personally. It's encouraging. It's deeply impactful. Sometimes you just there's a lot. I'll share off camera, but there's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That I just feel like, man, thank you, Lord, for broken people that you reconstruct and put together and build new things. You're just not done with folks. Amen. And I love that. I support, I salute. I do got a couple questions before we dip up out here. You know, keep it light. Okay. Right. Keep it light. So y'all, I asked, hey, what do you like to eat? You know, you guys gave me this like very bougie.
No. What was what I said? What I say?
No, it wasn't bougie, but it was very Hollywood. It was like, you know, lean meat, and it wasn't lean, but
it was like chicken rice from Air One. Yes,
it wasn't like
from you gave to the place,
but
because I know you. Yeah,
no, but I'm low key being silly, but I am curious. Like, what is y'all's diet? Like, is it like do y'all like being? You have to be fit in your line of work. You know, have to be, but it's very advantageous for you to be. Like, is it like? Can you spoil yourself at all?
Balance. We just had marathon.
Yeah, I was about to say because I mean, the brother trying to get the cuts and the bill. So Jonathan, hook your brother up. What can I eat? I mean, with my gluten allergy, it's a lot I can't eat anymore. You know, if it's not vegan or if it doesn't have wheat in it, a lot of times, man, if it's just meat and like rice. Yo, so I want to hear what they got to say. It's 3 minutes left. Let's keep going.
Burgers yesterday.
Oh, okay.
We did.
Okay.
Straight up.
We did.
So,
We did.
That's all.
It was also a business meeting.
Yeah,
So we did.
we did.
Okay. All right.
That's working. But yeah, we try. I mean, we try to like, you know, we try to.
I would say we eat everything.
Yeah.
However, we are calorically woke.
Okay.
There you go, baby.
Okay. Yeah. I'm managing calorically woke.
Yeah.
You're only deficit consistent.
No.
Or you're managing your calories.
We're just aware.
Okay.
Of what's going on.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
What is like
big word?
You know, Meg, you were talking about your prayer life sparking back up. You come from probably a strict religious background.
Yeah.
Like, just on a regular basis, like, what has been like a helpful part of your spiritual journey in this season of life?
First thing before I do anything else, just before I touch my phone, before I do anything, just making sure I just sit up and pray. We sit up and pray in the morning when he leaves at 4.
I sit up and pray.
Yeah, he sits up and pray. He sits up. Well, I sometimes I sit up with you, but we pray, and then he goes, and then when I get up for the second round to go meet him at the gym, then I sit up and do another prayer.
Yeah, just staying connected.
It's just making sure it's the first thing. It's just got to be the first thing that starts the day, that everything else follows. You know, it can't be later. I mean, it can be later, but I just want to be in the right frame of mind.
That's
and
good.
he just wants to be in the right frame of mind. You know?
Yeah, I guess that.
What's next? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys have there's career, there's honor culture. Like, what are you looking forward to?
We're trying to have some babies.
Okay.
Trying to have some kids.
Okay.
We have a beautiful preteen now, but we're looking to have some more.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Honor culture.
What? Okay. What's up, Kimiko? What? They out there trying to. Y'all better do it.
Your kids running around.
Come on. Absolutely.
Honor culture kids wear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get it going.
Yo, that's
I'm very
what's
bullish.
up.
I appreciate y'all. You know, y'all. Yeah, your level of transparency. I stopped saying vulnerability because I think that my man Jason Wilson said saying vulnerability means you're leaving yourself vulnerable for, like, we want to be transparent, not vulnerable. I was like, I like that actually.
I don't mind that. That's good.
So I appreciate your level of transparency and just your friendship. You know, just to be a brother, just to be a part of anything y'all have going on. I'm grateful and thank y'all for blessing us.
Thank you, brother. It's easy, man. You're so great.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, listen, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of The Deep End.
All right. They over here talking about babies. They out here trying to have some kids. I ain't mad at them though. I ain't mad at, because that would have been the first thing I'm asking for. As soon as we start dating, can we have babies? Can we have some babies? I love it. It was a really good interview. You know, I mean, there is some things that was said in this interview, and it goes back to what Sharita said earlier. It was not like groundbreaking, like, oh man, we found out so and so that was new. They're just expounded upon their relationship, man. And I really appreciate that, you know, allowing us to kind of get in their world. And there was a lot of good nuggets that was there. But the main thing that I wanted y'all to focus on is that these two were literally saying, or was literally uplifting each other. Keep, you know what I'm saying, as they went along with their conversation. And I think that's what I like the most. They kept speaking life into each other. They kept, they want to build. They want to have things. And I love this, especially for what they went through publicly, from different people saying different crazy stuff to where they at now, man. I ain't mad at them. I like it.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
All right. Tomorrow, Tony Weaver. I couldn't think of his name. Tomorrow, either I might do the black. I think is the nerd community hates black women, or I'm going to talk about Tony Weaver, and what he has going on right now. Yep, Kimiko. It's Monday Fun Day. So I'm trying to figure out. I think I might do the whole thing with old boy Keno Flex. I might do a reaction. I might just watch it and laugh at it, honestly. But I'll let y'all know. And then of course tonight coming back with more of the Blurred AF. So me, Mika G, and my man Bluminati will be back tonight. But I appreciate y'all sticking with me throughout this whole hour and 22-minute video. Yes, there will be Blurred AF tonight. I have no idea what we're talking about. We'll get there. We'll get the script, because remember, I don't read the script. Script reads me. But yeah, what did you guys think about this interview with Lecrae, Jonathan Majors, Meagan Good-Majors now, and they talking about babies now? What y'all think about it? Put it in the comment section below and let me know what you guys think. But again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you never ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vampire, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. Where's my outro at? Look, you already know. Where's the outro? I gotta go. Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over? What? Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.